to play with no rehearsal. Fly, I'm telling you the truth, it's all in what you do, hey, 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 hey. Barbershop conversation, guys. Feel free, hit the subscribe button, and don't forget we go live, Sunday to Thursday, 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, Sunday to Thursday. And I'm spending the day working on my pound for pound list. And let me tell you something, it's not up for debate. All right. I'm not debating my pound for pound list. Feel free to disagree, retweet, say you hate it, say you're crazy. I don't care. I'm not changing it. I don't give a fuck. so feel free to respond how you please. You know what I mean? I'm gonna set it and forget it. You know what I mean? And let me talk about this real quick, man, because I think that I want to speak to a broader audience, and because I saw a Champ Size video, and I want to add to that, and just so, but I want you guys to see the other side of the coin from a business perspective. I remember a few years ago, the Charlos had an interview together, if I'm not mistaken. Forgive me, it's been some time. And they had different hairstyles and shit. And they were talking about how Oscar played them and kept on promising them a Canelo fight. I remember that, if I'm not mistaken. I forget which Charlo it was. I don't know which one it was, be honest with you. But I remember one of them saying it in a group interview. And now let's fast forward this. Let's fast forward to today, December 26, 2020. All right. They saying Canelo, right? But let's keep in mind, Oscar also has Teixeira and Munguia. You know what I'm saying? There's 3 fighters. And here's what I take from this, guys. You got to leave them alone, man. We got to stop acknowledging their existence. You know what I mean? And if you acknowledge their existence, it's to make your brand greater. You don't go and complain, why I'm not this, why I'm not that. No. You don't do that shit. You don't do that. You don't give them power. You know, that's the same way I took down my Emmy nomination award. It's not on my bio anymore. I took it down. I'm not recognizing you. You know, you don't validate me. You understand? That's my perspective in this whole shit. You know, I can give 2 shits about, and I'm being honest. I don't care who likes me. I don't care. I'm talking about as a whole. As a whole, I don't care if the business of boxing hates my guts, likes my guts, despises me, loves me. Yeah. I'm going to keep on being me. And as long as I stay on my railroad tracks, and as long as I stay on the freeway that I'm building, there's no traffic. You understand what I'm saying? And I just and remix. And I just want to let the Charlo brothers know and fully grasp and understand what the hell is happening, because I don't think sometimes they miss it. You know what I mean? And I see that they live in their, beautiful lives, private jets, estates, beautiful families. I see it. It's very visual. I see it in your stories. It's admirable. It's beautiful. It's because I believe I was at Jermall Charlo's, one of his first 10 fights or something like that. I remember seeing him they had dreads, right? If I'm not mistaken, square flat tops. I just remember that. I don't know what came first or what came second, but I remember them. You know what I mean? I was thinking like, damn, they should have been football players. I remember looking at them, you know what I mean? And actually thinking that. So to see where they've come from and where they're at and where they have the potential to go is astounding. And I want this to fully grasp what I am saying. And I'm going to use Deontay Wilder as the pillar of the example. Deontay Wilder, albeit once a year, twice a year, he comes on my channel, and my channel can be a synonym for Champ Size channel, uh Blue Bloods channel, 78's channel, whoever channel it is. You know what I mean? I'll be honest, when I see a fighter interview with um someone who's outside of the normal media, I smile. I'm like, yeah. You know, like I admire that. I admire that they went out of their way to answer, let's say, Champ Side's phone call, Blue Blood's phone call. Uh Trill does interviews now. Y'all know Money Brown does interviews, you know, and the list goes on and on. I admire that. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna watch that interview. Like when Money Brown interviewed Derek James, I watched that interview just on the strength of Derek James saying, I respect Derek James, and I respect Money Brown for having the confidence in his platform to say, hey, Derek James, I got a platform. Hey, come on. Corey Spinks, I got a platform. I watch those interviews. And I sit there and I'll be rooting like, yes, 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 yes. We got people who's gonna attend to our needs, like this election. Everybody's getting. Did y'all read that 5,000 page new addendum to the? I didn't read all of it, but if you read that shit, everybody's getting reparations, but black people. Museums is getting millions of dollars, and black people getting nothing. If blacks wasn't Americans in this country, you wouldn't even get the $600. You understand where I'm coming from? So I look at those interviews and I'll be like, yes, thank God, thank you. And so what I did was I went back and I just wanted to be clear and be fair and be honest. I went back and I said, I want to see if the Charlos, and I'm talking about Jermell and Jermall, I want to see if they went out of their way to interview with someone out of their media obligations and speak in an authentic voice. Like speak in an authentic, like black voice. Speak in an authentic, like I came from Houston, made it out of the SWAT. Is that what they call it? The SWAT. Shout out to Toby, man. Toby fucking album Cinco something's fucking amazing. Make sure you guys go check that out. And arrest the killers of Breonna Taylor. Toby made that song. So just type Tobe in Gingwe. Damn. Y'all know what I'm saying. That famous African last name. Anyways, man, as I digress, I like in basketball, Njai. Every 7-footer that came out of Africa, last name was Njai in the 90s. Anyways, man, it's funny if you're a college basketball fan. All right, so and I went back and I watched, and I says, I didn't see no interview with Jermall Charlo. I saw a lot of lives being reposted. I saw the one interview I did see. I saw Jermell Charlo interviewing with Ellie Setback in a car. ES News. I did see that. I did see an interview with Jermell Charlo going off on Blue Blood. I did see that. And this is what I want to relay to them. I'm the kind of guy that if Jermell or Jermall are having a problem, I'll jump in front of it. Not even seeking anything in return. Case an example, Carissa Shield has never been on the show. I've reached out to Carissa Shield, asked her to come on the show. She won't do it. But I'm going to tell you what, if Steve Kim disrespects her, guess who's going to go nose with Steve Kim? Me. Fearlessly. Unafraid of what he's going to do to me. So I'm not asking for nothing in return. Carissa Shield doesn't owe me a thank you. I think that's what men do, right? And it's just plain and simple, you know. Or in my case, Wilder and Andre Ward, you know, unafraid, unapologetic, nose to nose with Andre Ward, and I say what I feel because he was absolutely wrong in saying what he said, trying to take $30 million out of Deontay Wilder's pocket. You understand what I'm saying? So I said all this to say, the Charlos, hear me out and understand me clearly. Here's how I think Oscar played y'all. He promised y'all fights, right? Munguia, I believe, had a belt, right? I think Teixeira picked it up. Y'all never fought either. I mean, he promised you Canelo years ago. And then They left you off of the pound for pound list. They didn't give you the fights, which minimize your 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 money making value in the open market, right? And then you go do their Ring magazine. Oscar De La Hoya is the owner. Doug Fisher is the chief and editor. Okay. Oscar De La Hoya owns Ring magazine. I'm going to repeat this. Golden Boy and Oscar De La Hoya owns Ring magazine. And prior to Canelo fighting Callum Smith, who was his promoter? Oscar De La Hoya and Golden Boy. Who was Teixeira's promoter? Oscar De La Hoya and Golden Boy. Who is Munguia's promoter? Oscar De La Hoya and Golden Boy. So here's what I say to this, and let this be a message to everyone listening, and use me as the keen example. You got to stop fucking with them. If they don't fuck with you, and they only want you when they need something, like your cousin, you know what I mean? Your cousin that you only see on Thanksgiving, and then in July when they run out of their tax money, they call you asking you to borrow $100 because Jermell and Jermall, you make the most money in the family, so everybody's gonna call you. They saw that you rebuilt your grandma's house. They see the beautiful cars and the flying jets and the Maybachs, whatever. I mean, y'all houses look extraordinary, exquisite. I mean, it's so beautiful that I really am considering moving to Texas when my kids get out of school and my kids can manage my properties and I can teach them well. Man, just mail my check to Houston. No, I'm going to Dallas. Mail my check to Dallas, Texas. You know what I mean? I'm being real as I real can be. And I want a big ass backyard. I want a big ass house. I want that all because I can't afford that here in Los Angeles. But when I see what's going on in Houston and Dallas, and I'm like, and shout out to Blue Blood. He took me on a tour of the property values in Dallas. I'm like, shit, I got to get a piece of this shit somehow, some way. You understand what I'm saying? And it's just night and day in LA and Texas, you know, and it's an open carry state. Like, man, you know, so in about 12 to 14 years, I will be considering moving down to Texas, you know, or at least have some type of duality. You understand what I'm saying? But as I digress, but as I digress, I'll say this. You got to hold your ground, Jermell and Jermall. Hear me and hear me clearly. If you want people like Champside allocating their platform on your behalf, you got to go interview with Champside. If you want Blue Blood advocating on your behalf, you got to go give Blue Blood 8 minutes a year. If you want me interviewing, you selling a pay-per-view, you're selling your brand. You got to come on the platform for 8 minutes a year, 10 minutes. I'm an interview platform. All right. Let's make it plain and clear. I reach out to everybody. Managers, fighters, you could be 1-0, 2-0, 3-0, or a world champion. I reach out to all of y'all, and all of y'all are welcome. You understand what I'm saying? And some people are just commentary platforms, and I respect them as much. You know, I just think that you have to see what the business of boxing is actually doing to the Charlo brothers. And I think that them, in my humble opinion, because Ring Magazine drops next month with them, I saw them posted, and I take that back. I saw them signing it at the Earl Spence Danny Garcia fight, and I'm like, damn, why they signing that shit? I wouldn't even took that picture, dog, because how many millions has Oscar and Golden Boy kept away from you between their three fighters? I repeat, how many millions has Oscar De La Hoya and Golden Boy and Ring Magazine kept away from you, kept away from both Charlo brothers? I'm a man who gets it. You understand what I'm saying? You only got, I say this all the time. You only got one chance to call me a nigga. I'm never going to ask for a credential, and then as it pertains to boxing. I've never asked for, no, let's go back to 2000 and whatever, so y'all can fully grasp who I am. I'm never, ever going to ask for my teaching job back. You know what I'm going to do? Make sure I can make a teaching a teacher's salary in a day. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna make sure I never ask for my credential again, ever again. So you know what I do? I call Bob Arum. I'm never gonna ask for my credential again. You know who I call? Lou DeBella. Do y'all see the game that I'm playing? Oh, I'm not. I'm who's in charge of y'all? Bob Arum is in charge. You not gonna give me a credential? Well, I'm gonna call Bob Arum. Oh, you're not gonna give me a credential? Is Lou DeBella in charge? Well, I'm gonna call Lou DeBella. Oh, DAZN, you're not gonna give me a credential? Well, I'm gonna call Eddie Hearn. He hasn't come on yet, but you guys get the game that I'm playing. I play for keeps in this shit. We're so short-sighted, narrow-minded. You understand what I'm saying? Do y'all see how I play this game? Oh, you not gonna come on? Let's say fighter A is fighting fighter B. Fighter A won't come on. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna interview fighter B twice, not once. I'm gonna interview him twice. And I'm gonna have him say what he want to say, interact with the fans, have fun. It's gonna be a few thousand people that watch, and that's gonna be the truth of the matter. And guess how many people buy tickets to your fight? A few thousand people. Guess how many pay-per-views you can add to you? A few thousand more pay-per-views. I'm gonna keep it real. I think I single-handedly got Paulo Malignaggi fired. Not single-handedly, but I think I started that monster of a snowball. People don't know who I know. I say this and I say this. I play poker with CBS execs. Before the pandemic, oh shit. Everybody walk in with $50,000, may the best man win. I done played some big games with CBS execs, with beautiful women roaming around, having a great time, and what's understood don't have to be explained. So they owe me favors. And you know what they gonna say, Fred? We listen. You know what I would do? I would send them all y'all videos, champ size videos, Monty Brown's videos, Boxing Ego, Trill Boxing Talk, 78, Blue Blood, my videos. And I would say, look, this video got 20,000 views. I'm being 100. This video got 100,000 views. What you gonna do? What you gonna do about it? What you gonna do about it? They make a phone call. They make a phone call. They make a phone call. I'm just being 100. You never know. And that's what I want to say to the Charlo brothers. You gotta play chess. Stop mentioning Charlo Canelo's name, dog. You ain't gotta mention his name. He gotta no. You keep on the same way that fans are telling Gary Russell, just go knock out 3 guys a year. Who cares if they're bums, quote unquote bums? Go knock out 3 opponents a year. You understand where I'm coming from? Charlo, Jermell, you got the best resume. I mean, I'm winning resume. People always say, Josecito Lopez, Sean Porter. I'm about to say Sean Carter, Sean Porter, and other people. Jermell, you got one hell of a. I was listening to Champ Side, and I forgot that I was at all those fights when you were younger. They put you through the gauntlet because they didn't think you were that good, dog. Hold that grudge. Keep that fucking chip on your shoulder, Jermell. No one thought you were that good, dog. They always thought Jermall was better than you. I see that you got the. I see that you have that against your brother in terms of the competitiveness when y'all competing. I see the endless love y'all have for one another. But I like that chip that you have on your shoulder, but make it broader than your brother. Make it broader than just being in the ring. Make it broader than just Lions Only Promotions. Make it about the whole branding about business. You know what boxing got to do? Take the air from Canelo. He's a cheater, PED user, and he's weight pimped every big fight he's ever been in when he was the ace high. He's weight pimped, y'all. He's weight pimped. He even weight pimped Rocky Fielding, y'all. Think about that shit. And then he made a couple of people fight at 155. He made Cotto weigh in at 155 for a 160-pound belt. That's what y'all got to do to him. You know what I do? I just keep trugging along, Just being 100. And I say this, and I want fighters to fully grasp what I'm saying. We got to eliminate them. And y'all got the power to actually do it. You got the power to actually say, oh, Canelo, Stop saying I want to fight Canelo and start saying he's a drug cheat and he's weight pimped. Use the word weight pimped. He's weight pimped every big fight he's ever been in when he's the ace high. We'll never know how good Canelo's ever can be, will be, is be. We don't know that because he's leveraged the sport of boxing and he's created and because people are starving for that $1 million check that he's giving out, you have to resort to being some sort of a slave for that $1 million fight. Y'all got to start shaming Canelo. He ain't the best fighter in the world. 2 years ago, he was popped for steroids. I repeat, 2 years ago, he was popped for steroids. Jermell, when you missed your test because you had a media obligation here in Los Angeles, I was at that media event. They said you ran from your test, dog. And I'm looking at, I'm serious. I'm gonna be candidly honest. I know a freak of an athlete when I see one. Jermell and Jermall are physical specimens. I've seen it with my own eyes. I've seen them run up and down the basketball court. I've seen them making weight that week. And we've all seen them in the ring. I've seen Jermell go life and death with Tony Harrison in New York at Barclay and didn't get tired. Think about that shit. The fight that Tony Harrison won, Jermell wasn't even tired at the end of that fight. That's all I'm saying. That's where I'm at with this. They're freaks. They're freaks of nature, man. God, they come from. I've said that in the build up to their fights. God took their time when they built them. They are freaks of an athletes. But now you got to be freaks of the brain. Now you got to be freaks of the business of boxing. And I hope you guys take this from a perspective of Fred genuinely cares about y'all success. I want y'all to double y'all net worth. I want Canelo begging y'all niggas for the fight. Remember, you own Texas. Canelo's from Mexico. Jermell, you own Texas. Jermall, you own Texas. That's your market space. Every time you say his name, you're giving a percentage of your market shares to him. It's like people who make hate videos on me. One of the reasons why I don't respond to them, because I want to hijack their platform. And how I hijack their platform, don't care, don't respond. I want them to make 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 videos. I don't do diss videos. For what? No need to. I understand branding and marketing. That's what I'm saying. And if Jermell and Jermall had came out and said, I want the Charlo, excuse me, if they had said, who gives a fuck? Canelo's a drug cheat. How is he moving up in weight like that? He may still be on PEDs. Don't you know how far that would have went? Instead of saying, well, I don't know if they said it, but I would like to fight him someday. He did say, I ain't turned down no contract. No, Canelo's a drug cheat. We'll never know how good Canelo's been because he's weight pimped and drug cheated his way to the top. Boom. Floyd said it with Pacquiao. Why can't you? You know what Floyd is? You know what Floyd became because of the sport of boxing? On a gross scale, he made $1 billion. You know why? Because he took everything off his fork and he only ate what he created. There was no promoter, no Jewish man, no network, basically. He basically pimped the networks. And then Al Heyman got smart and leveraged Floyd Mayweather's pimpness and made Steven Espinoza give him a contract. And then he leveraged that, boom, into Fox. Oh, next thing you know, they're gonna be showing fights on the moon and shit. You know what I'm saying? So anyways, man, I said all that to say this. The Charlo brothers, be smart. Understand what the hell I'm saying. Please, God, understand. Because at the end of the day, the more wins y'all have, the better off Lions Only Promotion is going to be. The better off the SWAT is going to be. And the further we can advance the sport of boxing with this stone cold truth. Charlos, you don't need a Canelo fight. Canelo needs you. I repeat, Charlos, you don't need the Canelo fight. Canelo needs you. Jermell, no one has a better resume in boxing than you. I repeat, no one has a better resume in boxing, Jermell, than you. No one has a better trainer in boxing than you. That's all I want to say. You ain't got to chase these motherfuckers. Look at what Al Heyman did to Bob Arum. Bob Arum went from I'm not doing business with Al Heyman. Al Heyman doesn't exist. Now he's saying I understand what he got to do and do pay-per-views. Y'all hear him on the platform. It's business, man. It's leveraging your assets. And that's what y'all got to do. Charlos, y'all put y'all brands together, put your heads together, and take this shit over. Y'all 30 years old. Why the fuck you chasing Canelo for a fight? Just keep winning, knocking niggas out, and build your brand. I would have went to the press conference just to call him a drug cheat. Oh man, that would have hurt. Don't you know in the eye of a winner? Oh, you know what that would have did to him and his heart? Oh man. Y'all saw what Bernard did. You saw what Shane Mosley did, right? You saw what the left-hander light heavyweight did that broke my heart. Antonio Tarver did. You saw what Lara did. That's all I'm saying. And what did they do? They got the fight. Y'all don't hear me though. Yeah. And this is all out of love, man. You know what I mean? Man, you talking to a guy who's approaching 8 figures and got no Jewish man on his. I ain't got no Jewish nigga in my life that can tell me anything. I'm just saying. Barbershop conversations, man. Feel free, hit the subscribe button. Charlos, you don't need them. You don't need Ring Magazine. You don't need Oscar. You don't need Canelo. You don't need Magia. You don't need TechShare. Keep winning, building your brand, and start creating connections with people that want to carry your message. Go to Champside, do an interview this week. Do an 8 to 10 minute interview, man. You go live y'all got the best lives, man. Y'all got great lives. I'm just keep it a buck. What I see in my stories, man, it's a great life. Y'all got great lives y'all living. You know, give the brothers there are some non-brothers that support you as well. I just don't know who they are. Go on their platforms and leverage their platform to build your brand up. The one thing I'll say about Floyd, when he was on the come up, the day he left Top Rank, you know what that nigga did? That nigga interviewed with go back and check the stats. He interviewed with everybody. I mean, he was so addicted to being in the public. He created that live stream. What is that called? Stream Zoom? No, what is it called? Stream Team. That nigga was live every day. I remember it like it was yesterday. He was live all the time, man, building his brand. Next thing you know, he's making $35 million a fight. Next thing I know, he's making $250 million a fight. And next thing I know, guess what? Pacquiao became the B-side. I repeat, Pacquiao became the B-side. In the $500 million fight, Pacquiao became the B-side. Floyd made $250. Everybody else made $100, which is nothing to snag about, but Floyd was the ace high. Barbershop Conversations. Feel free to hit the subscribe, but hashtag we are one if we made the back of the video, and send this to Jermell and Jermall Charlo. I'll holla. Peace.